Hello, I am Jacqueline, aka the Self Love Diva, and today we're going to talk about storytelling. We're going to delve deep inside into storytelling and why the story you tell yourself can either make you or break you. And if you've been telling yourself stories that are less than stellar, guess what? It's time we stop doing that. Everyone has their own personal story to tell, and storytelling is awesome. It is a form of expression, it builds connection, and storytelling actively forms vivid images and multisensory images and actions and characters and events. But our stories are biased on our past experiences, our beliefs, and different filters we run the stories through. What we need to understand is that there's a huge gap between the real story and the story we create and we keep telling and retelling ourselves. Because our experience as humans naturally affect what we see and what we recall, and also when we start telling the story to other people, they become co-creators in the story because then they filter it to their own filters and their own past experiences and kind of gets a little the story to say the least. But what happens is it starts to take a life of its own. But don't get me wrong, storytelling is super powerful and impactful, and it's a powerful outlet to express emotions and process them and process our feelings, and a great way to connect to people. What is not powerful about storytelling is when we tell the story from a way that is distorted and disempowering and weakens us. Storytelling is this manner can break us, and that's when we feel small and weak and victim mentality and poor me. And then when we keep retelling the story, what happens is that we start to actually believe it, and that's when our subconscious kicks in. Our subconscious learns by repetition, so we keep retelling the story, and then the subconscious go, oh, it must be true, let me collect evidence. So he goes out into the world collecting evidence to confirm the story and reconfirm the story that we've been telling ourselves, and then that becomes a belief, and that's not what we want. So what I want to ask you, what's your story? What's the story you tell others? But most importantly is, what is the story that you tell yourself? Because you're the author, the creator, and the story, and only you can really truly create and recreate and edit your story from within. So it all starts with the story you create yourself, and that endless mindless loop that by the time you tell someone else anyway, you already bought into the story anyway. So what matters is not the story or what happens to us as much as how we perceive and write the story and tell the story. Because you could be the victim or the heroine of your story. It's your story, so you choose wisely how you're going to tell and portray the story and the character that you're going to take. Because you can live as a victim and tell it from a victim mentality, a poor, mean damsel in distress, I need rescuer. And you may think this is helpful because you get attention, you get sympathy, you get people to come and help you do different things. But guess what? That's not good, because it creates a codependency. It makes you feel inferior or weak or not able to take care of yourself, lack of confidence, and only keeps you small, and then an energy vibration that attracts more of what you don't want rather than what you do want. So you can change your perception to believe that you're ultimately in charge of your life and you could do anything you want. And you could understand and examine the story you've been telling yourself up to now and change it and shift it. And what you perceive as good, bad, or ugly, you could perceive and learn to appreciate, and just realize that it's all perception, and everything that is happening to us is happening really for us. I have what I believe is an absolutely phenomenal way to look at life, and I hope that you recommend, and I recommend that everyone adopts, which is that I wholeheartedly believe that everything that happens to me is really happening for me. So my affirmation, what I say is, I wholeheartedly believe that everything in the universe is always conspiring for my highest good. So everything that's happening in the universe is always conspiring for my highest good. What an empowering way to look at that, huh? Because when you believe that the universe is always conspiring for your highest good, you can only look at your situation and your story from an empowering way. So in every story then, you become the heroine. Because hey, the universe is conspiring for your highest good. For instance, let me tell you a story about a very, very dear friend and a colleague. And she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Very young girl. She wants to get married, have kids, and everything else. And instead, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And she could have been dejected or let the breast cancer define her, or limit her, or bring her down. Instead, she chose to examine the story she'd been telling herself, examine the way she's been treating herself, and what she realized was that she had nearly emotionally, mentally, and physically killed herself by beating herself up so much. She always felt like there was a part of her that always felt she wasn't good enough. So she nearly worked herself to death. She verbally was abusive to herself with negative self-talk. And she realized that this small part of herself that felt that she wasn't good enough, which, mind you, she's a brilliant woman. And she also felt that other people didn't think she was good enough. So she realized that she needed to take some time off. And she took some time off, gave herself time to heal, major self-loving relationship with herself, and self-care relationship that she established with herself. And she realized that through self-love and self-care, and transform your story and transform the way you feel and your relationship with yourself and with others. So fast forward, today she is, thank God, healed, and she is a powerful, impactful advocate for self-love and self-care, because she realizes that the way you talk to yourself, the way you treat yourself, everything has a huge impact emotionally, mentally, health-wise, every way. It's like my girlfriend. She was able to examine and re-examine her perceptions, her belief, the story she was telling herself that she wasn't good enough, and everything else. She was able to shift something that was drastic into a life-changing, life-saving event, and shift that. Then you and I can also shift into different ways of seeing and relating the story that we have. So my question is, what's your story? What was the lessons you learned from it? And how have you chosen up until today, because it stops today, how have you chosen up until today to tell your story? Were you the victim or the victor? Right now, I invite you to re-examine, reframe, and rewrite a brand new story that you're going to inspire and motivate yourself. So you're going to write from the perspective of being an unstoppable, empowered woman. That's your homework assignment. Rewrite your story. Rip up the old one, start fresh. Rewrite your story where you become an empowered woman. You are more powerful than you can ever imagine. So stop telling yourself your old story. Start telling yourself your brand new story, and tell it and retell it and retell it, so your subconscious mind can cement it inside and go out into the world and look for evidence that hell yeah, you're powerful, hell yeah, you're unstoppable, hell yeah, you're a dynamic, vibrant, intelligent woman who is more than good enough. You're awesome. So go tell your story. And also, one big takeaway I hope you have from this is that the universe is always conspiring for your highest good. And once you believe that no matter what is happening to you, it's happening for you, and it's for your highest good, then you are truly will be the heroine in every one of your stories. And that's what I want for you. So go there, rip up the old story, rewrite a new story, and adopt the belief that the universe is always conspiring for your highest good. I love you. Love you. Bye. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please give a thumbs up, like, share, and comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so now. Also, below is a link to my free ebook. You could grab it. It's free, and it has extraordinary exercises and tidbits and strategies to transform your life from ordinary to extraordinary. A life worth living and celebrating, and that's what I want for every one of you. So grab the book now. Love and kisses. Till next time. Bye.